Good morning. We're here at Old Bakery Gin. We've made plenty of videos about making gin and all the processes and all the things that are involved, so we're not going to talk about that today. I'm here with George.
Hi.
And we're here with Bear.
Hiya.
Forgive us for any background noise. We've actually got all the stills running at the moment, so you can hear the water that's cooling them down, so that's what that noise is. But we want to make a little video, not about gin, and we've made loads of videos about gin for anyone that's ever followed us. But today we're actually going to talk about hand sanitizer. And the reason we're talking about hand sanitizer is because obviously we're not making gin at the moment because there's no real demand for that. We're really small anyway. But we've applied to HMRC Customs and Excise to get the appropriate licences so that we can buy in denatured alcohol, which is the base for hand sanitizer. But unfortunately the waiting list is up to 2 months, which is complete nonsense in a pandemic. We've made a fuss about this already. So, you know, we can't get the base ingredient, so we have the choice of absolutely doing nothing and blaming the government, or we actually just try and do something good in a very small capacity. And what George and I and Will, who's not here, where is Will?
Will's hiding.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about Will in a moment. So what we're actually doing is we're actually physically making the alcohol. So we are actually an approved Customs and Excise warehouse. So we have a warehouse keeper's license, so we can buy in bonded goods. And when we make gin, we actually bottle in bond. But anyway, that's the story for another time. So George, talk us through very, very briefly what we do when we're actually making alcohol. And this is our second batch. So our first batch we've created, so we're making more. So George, just very briefly, talk us through what we would do.
Well, we're actually starting from the very raw ingredients and making it here. So I've got the sugar here, which we'll be using to make it with. And this is our second batch, so it's been fermenting here last week. So
we've got 20. So each barrel is 25 litres. We're adding dextrose sugar. Why aren't we just using regular sugar? Why are we using dextrose?
Well, this actually makes the cleanest alcohol, which doesn't really matter because obviously we're not drinking it on this occasion.
Right.
But we thought we'd still go for the best ingredients we can.
It's literally the best you can make. This is the bootleg version. This is how they did it hundreds of years ago illegally. So water, sugar. We're using something called a turbo yeast, which has charcoal in there. So when it's actually bubbling away and fermenting, what colour is it?
It will go black. It actually goes black, so the charcoal will...
We thought we'd done it wrong on the first batch because it was black. We think alcohol wasn't black. But it was actually the charcoal in the actual process that made it black. And then we use a clearing compound, which obviously we didn't do properly in the first batch, which actually clears the black. And allows all the charcoal sediment to actually create the bottom, which leaves us with a clear liquid that we then actually distill. There's a lot of waste in this, isn't there, George?
Yeah.
So if we've got 25 litres of alcohol, and in the drum that we've made, we've got 25 litres of alcohol at the end of the process, which is about 14% alcohol. Now, we need an alcohol of over 60% to kill all the germs and the bugs and the coronavirus and all the rest of it. So we then need to obviously, how do we get 14% alcohol up to 96, which is how we distill. This is when we distill it. We put it through the stills, but the problem is that 25 litres of alcohol at 14% comes down to about
7 if you're lucky.
If we're really lucky, really lucky. Yeah, it's normally about 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Well, you had 7 out one, didn't you? One of the stills. One of our stills is not working. George, any ideas why one of our stills isn't working? I actually know the answer.
Yeah, Will.
That's why he's high.
And how did Will break one of the stills? I guess no one knows because Will's not here to answer. So Will, if you're watching, we know it was you. George, Bear, you're looking very powerful with what you're doing. We'll come to what you're doing in a second. Over to you, George. Can you just tell us what you're actually doing right now?
We're actually making the hand sanitizer and bottling it. So what we've done is we've put the raw alcohol into our stills, redistilled it. It's come out at 96%. We've then added water to it to bring it down to 70%. We then have to denature the alcohol. So there's a load of different recipes online. Obviously this is the first time we've made hand sanitizer, and we're going by the WHO recipe, and the WHO is the World Health Organization recipe that is approved by our government. What we have to do is we then denature the alcohol. So the alcohol that comes out of here you can drink, is drinkable. To make hand sanitizer, you denature it, so you put it to make it to a standard where you couldn't drink it, and that means that all the tax and any duty there's no duty associated with it, because we've added chemicals to make it so that you cannot drink it.
And a more important question than that is bear stirring it properly.
Yeah.
Good. So what was the purpose of this video? There's lots of people out there, there's lots of other gin distilleries that are manufacturing hand sanitizers that have been able to get in the denatured alcohol, which is fantastic. The real message is here. Who have we, and I'm really not exaggerating here, who have we had emails from, phone calls from?
Doctors, hospitals, the police, and
Gold Commander, the Metropolitan Police, literally, I don't want to say pleading because that's not the right thing, but literally, you know, whatever you've got, we want it for frontline officers that are now dealing with deaths out there that don't have hand sanitizer. Email on Friday from an actual operating theatre from well, I won't say who it was from, but from one of the big hospitals, saying at that level they don't have hand sanitizer. I mean, this is bonkers. We can make it, we can't get the appropriate licenses, and you just could make this nonsense up. And who else have we supplied? Local authorities, local councils.
Yeah, local charities as well.
And also the purpose of this video, okay, we've had a little bit of fun obviously making this video. We do that generally anyway, because obviously we want it to be a nice environment where we work. But the point is, just because you feel that you can't do something, I mean, if everybody just did one little thing, those one little things obviously multiply and obviously gives people an opportunity. So, you know, there's some, we've been working and supporting some medical students in central London and south London that are literally physically hand sewing face masks and giving them to the homeless, and obviously we're giving them hand sanitizers to hand out. So just, you know, if you can do one little thing, just one little thing, it might be really small and insignificant, but if a lot of people did that collectively, George,
yeah, it'll make a big difference.
It'll make a huge difference. So thank you for watching us.